Old wealth versus new money. There's a quote that says, there are people who have money and then there are people who are rich. I think most people would be happy with either. Let's explore how you can get into that category. I think we all know the stories of the person who has made a ton of money, like a dot-com millionaire who lost it all, the lottery winner who still went broke, and the billionaire heiress who died homeless. You can make a lot of money, but having it and keeping it is one of the key differences between new money and old wealth. Old wealth really does think differently, and because they think differently, they act differently, and they do many different things. I've had the luck and experience to sit with many millionaires, and I've also had the luck and experience to sit with many broke people, but who have made a lot of money, but for some reason don't have it. So I have discerned that there are basically three major areas or things, if you will, that they're doing differently and that they focus on in very different ways. So let's talk about that, because is there such a big difference that you can't make money and then turn it into old wealth, meaning have it for generations? Or if you make it today, are you just destined to blow it and lose it all? Let's discuss how that happens. The three areas that I discerned when looking into this just to shoot the video are how old money and new money acquire it. Like, what do they do to get the money? The second thing would be, how do they spend it? What's their lifestyle look like? What is the big difference between how old money spends their wealth and how new money spends it? And then three would be the future of that money, how they plan for the future of their money. What's going to happen when they're long gone? Right? So let's just start with the acquisition of money. Old money tends to favor old style of making money, meaning they like things like real estate, because real estate is tried and true. It's sort of slow and steady wins the race. They buy properties. These properties tend to be generational. Many times the children are growing up in the house that their grandfather or great-grandfather may have even built or originally acquired. They tend to like real estate for investment too, that's going to be paying them. They love things like dividend-paying stocks, S&P 500 investing, T-bills, anything that pays them slow and steady over time, that tends to be tried and tested and true for many, many, many years. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for quality and steady. New money many times is looking for the quick buck. Maybe they made money in tech. Maybe they invested in Bitcoin. Maybe they had a little blip on Robinhood and made a little bit of money. And now they're looking for a way to double that or triple that or do it again. They're looking for the quick flip, so to speak. I mean, how many shows are there out there called Flip This House or Business or whatever? So the point is, old money tends to favor steady, whereas new money is looking for something quick. They really want to get rich fast. And never more has that been prevalent in a time where we see it on a daily or hourly basis, whether it be on a show like Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire or I'm going to go make $1 million on Survivor. We hear all these stories. We see it daily, so we think it should be quick. The problem with quick money is that many times it leaves just as quick. When you make money through an inheritance or a lottery win or anything that happens quickly, many, many times the end result is that they end up losing it. They don't understand what it took to make it, so it was a flash in the pan, it was a blip. So how old money wants to make it is slow and steady, and over time with time-tested results. New money many times is trying to just make it really fast. The second thing between old money and new money that I discerned is how they spend the money. Old money is very low-key. They value privacy. They don't want everybody to know what they have. And even though they have great things, they're not out there flaunting it. They're not posting pictures on every time they, go out there in their yacht or drive their nice car. They tend to favor quality too, so they're not out there looking at all the biggest fads and the newest thing. Just because a car came out and it's the newest thing doesn't mean that that's what they want. They're still going to value a Rolls or a Bentley or a Mercedes because they know the quality. It's not just in homes and cars that they're looking for quality. They do that in everyday things. If they buy a suit or a dress, they want that to last. They want it to last a long time. So they're looking at quality as much as they're looking at brand. New money tends to look at brand first. They're okay with wearing it once, for show and throwing it away. They're okay with leasing a car so that they look really lavish, and they have to post tons of pictures of what they're doing and the vacations they're on and the food they're eating. Everything is about the show. It's about having people know that they have this money and know that they have that extreme wealth. One of the reasons is because they don't have the self-worth and self-esteem, if you will, of old money. Old money has an air of confidence about them. People don't have to know what they have for them to feel good. New money wants the world to know what they have so that they feel good. That ultimately is a self-esteem issue. And you should never value more what other people think about you over what you think about yourself. You know what you're worth. And if you're out there achieving and you're doing great, then be satisfied with that. Believe me, it'll last longer. And that satisfaction feels better than the short-term win of someone liking something you did on Instagram or Facebook. The third thing that I noticed is the financial planning, for the future. So right from the get-go, right when you start to make money, when you're thinking about generational wealth, you're thinking about your heirs. I'm wondering what I will leave behind to my children. Will they want this house? Will they want that property? Are they going to want to run my business? Right? And I'm thinking like that already. And you are making chess moves to plan for the transfer of that generational wealth. I'm not busy spending my money on me because I'm busy preparing and planning for the next generation, for what they're going to do. In 2 or 3 generations, long after I'm gone, what are they going to be doing with the businesses? What are they going to be doing with the money? Is this something they even want? Many times, new money, they don't want what their parents did. Their parents did some old clanky business that they don't want to run. I mean, recently I saw this happen with one of the best restaurants in Boston, where I'm from. I flew back home and the business had changed hands and changed titles. It was a different name on the restaurant, meaning they weren't even able to sell it. The new owners just came in and basically took over the location. This was a restaurant, I won't say the name, but it was extremely popular. There would be a line out the door every Friday and Saturday, and the children did work there for years. I knew them. I would walk in and see the kids of the owners. They didn't want the business. When the parents retired and wanted to, go to Florida and be done, the children just did not want that business. They wanted to move on and do their own thing, even though this was a tried, tested, true business that had extreme popularity and it was a gold mine. But the kids just didn't want to do it. So they didn't want to take that business, so everybody just cashed out and went their separate ways. So it's kind of sad to see go. The new restaurant that went there didn't last but a few months. People did not migrate to it. It was different chefs, different menu, different cooking, different everything. So a lot of times new money is not busy thinking about long term, and that was the only business they had. So the kids were actually just forced to go get jobs and do whatever they do. It's almost like starting completely over. Old wealth thinks about asset protection, thinks about the transfer of assets, thinks about dividends that are going to pay. New money is busy spending the money. They're very busy spending the money on themselves. They're not as concerned with education. They're not as concerned with the transfer of that wealth. They are busy spending the wealth. In many times, they're not planning at all. I'll sit down with people and say, what are you doing for your children? And they're like, my kids can do whatever they want to do. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but they will do what they do. So they're so busy just being in the moment and sort of being selfish. In a way, old money doesn't think like that. From the get-go, at every stage, whether they're being a pioneer in business or whether they're getting ready to sell that business and do something with the assets and putting it somewhere else, they're thinking about a vehicle that is going to be a asset producing vehicle for their heirs. The bottom line is that if I was to just do a punch list, old money is steady. New money believes in quick. Old money likes real estate. New money likes vacations. Old money trusts cash and they know it's real. New money likes digital currency. Old money values privacy. New money is loud and wants likes on Twitter. Old money values quality, whereas new money is going to drive a Tesla or the newest fad because that's what they'll get noticed in. Old money likes art. New money likes tattoos. Old money values self-worth and self-esteem and know that that's the most important thing. How one truly feels about themselves will dictate everything you do in life. New money wants to get noticed on social media. The bottom line here is that old money is rooted in tradition and values and even knows the value of themselves and what they have done, and that makes them feel good. New money many times is just busy out there spending it, being selfish, wanting the world to notice them in what they did. My name is Daniel F. Margasa. You are watching The Almost Criminal Millionaire, and if you enjoy learning about the topics of money, finance, and the health and wealth of your bank account, then please like and subscribe for more.